I'm Andy Peaden. I'm the head of service at Leeds Youth Justice Service. So I work in the youth justice system and manage a youth offending team here in Leeds. I'm also currently chair of the Association of Yacht Managers. So Covid-19 has had a big impact on youth offending and youth offending teams. We are identified as key workers, so we are expected to keep services running. I guess the biggest single impact is around the work that we do with young people. So we are a relationship-based service. Our success depends on making an impact with young people, and to do that, you have to you have to form a productive working relationship with that young person to try and encourage them and cajole them and motivate and enthuse and to make a difference with them. So in the first instance, whilst when the pandemic hit, we had a pretty good relationship with the vast majority of the young people that we're working with. As time has moved on, and we've had new people coming into the system, coming into the criminal justice system, and we're expected to develop that relationship. I think we found it harder to do that because virtual meetings do work and can work well when you have a relationship already with them. It's quite harder to develop that from scratch, especially when your job is around trying to ask sometimes intrusive questions and to probe a little bit, and to, as I say, motivate and enthuse and try and make a difference for that young person and for their families. I think we've seen three key areas. So first off, was the impact around food banks and the availability of food, and the difficulties that a number of our families found in terms of being able to get access to things. So as the sort of panic buying started, it's not surprising to see that our families found it difficult to respond appropriately to that side of things and found themselves being squashed out. So in Leeds, we've utilised a company called FareShare for a number of years because we have a number of families that find things a struggle from time to time, and we found ourselves supplementing that quite considerably for the first few weeks of the pandemic, and certainly an increased call on that aspect of things. We worked quite closely with colleagues in children's social work services and with colleagues across care leavers, and operated a bit of a program of delivering food parcels to families, seeing that as an opportunity to get face-to-face contact and to just ensure that families were okay. As things calmed down a little bit, it has leveled out. We've still got a program running, but it's not quite as it's not quite as time consuming, and we're not putting quite so much resource into it as we were. I think the other thing that we noticed as we moved very quickly to a more remote way of delivery is that not all our families and not all our young people were able to respond to that. So we had a number of young people that didn't have phones. Phone contact works if you've got the ability to get hold of them, and when you're reliant on big sisters or nan's mobile to make contact, it makes life that much more awkward. We were really fortunate in Leeds to be able to access the DfE's IT kit program. So we've had probably about 60 or so laptops and routers that we've been able to get access for families that have got no means of getting access to that. So that's to help them in terms of their education, but obviously it helps us in terms of additional ways of being able to get access to young people. we've had a number of young people that have turned that down, unfortunately. Slight mistrust in criminal justice services, a feeling that we might have bugged it in conjunction with the police, and a few young people that have said that they absolutely didn't want a laptop because they would then be expected to do school work. And I guess that's my third issue. We know that education is a massive issue in terms of youth justice, and young people that don't do well in education at the best of times, you can expect them to find it even harder in the current testing climate. So got a number of concerns around what that will mean for this cohort of young people, and for young people that come from similar families, and in terms of the sort of the prospects for our slightly older young people, so 16 plus young people, their access into opportunities, I think, will be really, really difficult. It's a very challenging set of circumstances for everybody at the moment, and so the prospects for our young people who are already in the justice system and at a bit more of a disadvantage, we'll find it even harder, I think. Yeah, I think that that yacht workers, across the country, have been really creative in terms of the ways that they've tried to engage young people, and to get that hook into being able to work with them. A member of staff in one of our teams here in Leeds created the hashtag lockdown challenge, which was just a means of trying to engage young people through a range of different ways in terms of setting a challenge. So that's taken the shape of baking a cake, or making a model, or doing a piece of work, and what we've done is we've provided the ingredients. We've bought the plastic model for the young person, and it's been part of the ongoing conversation that's been had with the worker and the young person in terms of developing that and promoting that relationship, but also recognizing that we are dealing with children. That when you're at home and you've got a lot longer periods of time to spend at home, it's hard to find constructive use of time, I guess. And so providing those raw materials and then supporting them through the remote contact to try and see the product at the end of it, I think has been really innovative, and has been very, very well valued by some of the families. So what might stick following COVID-19? So I think we're all getting used to the concept of doing things more remotely, and we're all getting used to wearing these things. And so in a criminal justice context, I think that the hope is that you're able to take the best bits of that and to maximise the opportunities for engaging and doing things on a more smarter, more efficient basis than we might have done otherwise. So that means including more people in multi-agency meetings that might not previously have been able to get there because of difficulties around transport or time commitments. I think that I would really hope that we're able to transform some of this across into the secure estate at some point. It is there. It's there under a program called Purple Visits at the moment, which is offering the opportunity of young people in the justice system to see their families on a much more on a regular basis. The difficulty there is that we often see within the justice system that young people don't get a bespoke offer, because it's part of a national prison service. So the Purple Visits programme, as I understand it at the moment, is only offering half an hour a month. So I think the opportunities are there to really make a difference, to really try and keep young people connected into their immediate families and to their extended families, and because we've seen how remote contact can work. I think we just need to be able to take that premise and get past some of the structural difficulties that exist within the secure estate and some of the security concerns that override it, and to capture the good things out of it to increase that contact. So I've already flagged my concerns around the opportunities that there might be for young people per se. I think that what I would be hopeful for is an extended guarantee around trying to create a range of different opportunities at all sorts of levels for young people, in terms of that 16 to certainly 16 to 18 in terms of our age group, but for young people in general, because with there being a massive downturn in the economy and so many more people looking for jobs, our young people will find it harder and harder to find opportunities for them. Some bespoke programs that target young people who are in that sort of entry to employment type phase. So more apprenticeships, more bespoke training programs that would really make a difference to us. Covid-19 has had a massive impact on the justice system. We saw the initial quietness as and cases dropped. That's now started to increase again. We are a bit worried that downturns often increase criminal activity. So some of those sort of opportunities and programs and initiatives that are pitched at trying to give young people something to look forward to and something to be able to plan towards would be really helpful.